Hey guys, I really hope that you had a brilliant Africa Day yesterday. But regardless of the situation, there's something that we've been cooking up for you. This weekend was jam-packed when it comes to sports. I have no idea how I'm going to be able to really compress and compartmentalize all the different things that happen. So this weekend, the phenomenal Rams had a winning streak. You'd be very surprised at how this team has consistently made an effort towards pressing in on their players. There's a reason why everyone always goes to Derby to watch the brilliant St. John's College Rams. And they actually came from a great win before with Prince Edward, which is why everyone was quite shocked with the results of Weaver Field. So I would like to make a quick shout out to all the St. George's College Dragons, because nothing was going to happen on Weaver. They were not going to let themselves lose on home ground. And truly, they painted the town red. But oh well, that's how it is. But St. George's College had a brilliant, shocking win of 45-29, and we can't wait to see the winning streak that they hopefully have. But regardless, this sacrificial lamb might resurrect and come back hungrier than ever. So don't relax, anything could happen. For years and years, people have always asked themselves the question, who is the best when it comes to rugby in Zimbabwe? Since the dawn of time began, there's always been two ultimate champions that would arise, a rivalry between the Bulldogs and the Tigers. Prince Edward School has always consistently proved themselves to be so persevering. That tiger creates a rumble in a jungle like nothing we've ever seen. But at the same time, there's a bulldog barking behind them, ready to humble them when the time comes. And here's the fascinating thing. Every time we watch these games, there's a certain vehemence, a fervence, a fire that burns within us with passion, because it's anyone's game, really. Both of these teams are always clashing as titans. But unfortunately this weekend, there was only one victor that could arise. As Prince Edward had a brilliant hype towards the game, we brilliantly supported them all the way. But despite the Tigers' efforts, the cat had a little bit of a thorn in their paw. Let's just say that thorn was the color purple. And guess what happened? In the dying minutes of the game.
Signals the drop goal, they're right in front of goal.
Yes, pivot is going back, he's back in the pocket. Drop goal attempt here for Churchill! And it is over!
The Bulldogs of Churchill came to clutch a brilliant 27-26 win and end the crowd roars of silencing the amazing Tigers. We expect so much more from the Tigers because Churchill is actually on a redemption streak from their loss from Wise Owl. So surely they've got more motivation to keep on going. But I don't think the Tigers are going to take this loss lightly. I really do believe that they are going to come back. So can't wait to see what happens regarding the next rivalry regarding the Bulldogs and the Tigers. So in other news, other than the world of rugby, here's what is actually happening in the world of hockey. There were district trials all across the country. And here's the fascinating part. Zimbabwe already has an amazing unbeaten track record of birthing out the next greatest players. And that's exactly what these trials sought to do. People were searching desperately for the next talent. Thousands of young ladies actually went to try out for these. And we actually have a few of these names popping up right here. So stay tuned for this information. Ladies and gentlemen, there are few household names when it comes to Zimbabwean sport. None other than SHAUN DESOUZA will always ring in the minds and hearts of all Zimbabweans. What's really fascinating is he's just been a Tiger his whole life, from being a cub and breaking records in athletics to coaching some of the biggest teams in the country. I am joined today by the sensational and phenomenal Coach SHAUN DESOUZA. It's an honor to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me, Munyash.
Wow, it's truly an honor. I'm starstruck right now. I don't know, I'm even having a conversation with you right now. But this is for the fans at home. Everyone knows you. You've been a legend in the game for absolute years, but we just have a few questions for you. How did you even get started within the rugby industry? What made you choose to say, okay, I'm gonna pick up a rugby ball and I'm gonna be the best at what I'm doing?
Yeah, interesting question. I wasn't always the rugby guy. I was more of the hockey player. growing up at Prince Edward. Obviously, everyone knew me for what I did on the track, on the athletics track, the 100 meters, 200 and 400 meters. And then basketball. I was also the basketball player. And then rugby basically took over. Getting the opportunity to be coached by legendary coaches like the late Ian Robinson, even Patrick Gumunyu, obviously maybe gave me more love for rugby over the other sports.
I see, thank you.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a bit more about your background, just enlighten us on what it is that really makes the great coach SHAUN DESOUZA?
I think when we come to the coaching aspect, the journey actually started in 2012. I went to watch a Prince Edward St. George's game, as an old boy fan would do, and wasn't excited of what I saw. Felt the need or the urge to want to go give back. Godwin Murambiwa and Sebastian Garikai were coaching Prince Edward at that time. Then I approached Godwin and I asked him if there's any way I could come in and help. And they were more than welcoming and gave me the opportunity to go coach the Prince Edward second team in 2012. Godwin Murambiwa is a world rugby trainer, became my mentor and guided me through my coaching skill sets and became my mentor. I then went and did my level 1, level 2 coaching, and then I've elevated to a world rugby level 3. So yeah, I think Godwin was one of my mentors that came and gave me the inspiration and created an opportunity for me to get into coaching and build the SHAUN DESOUZA of today.
Wow, that's brilliant. What would you say was a defining moment in your life? Allow me just to dehumanize you for a second, just to get you on the regular level. So what was a defining moment within your life that you're like, okay, this is now something in me that I have to give to the younger generation?
I think it's a calling. It wasn't something that I sat back and I said to myself, SHAUN, is coaching what you want to do? Is rugby specific the area that you want to focus on? I think just following your instinct, from that time, watching the game and making the call, speaking to the right people, maybe it was a blessing that those specific people I engaged opened up the door and got the foundation going. And I think having that inner circle to support the somewhat dream when we're looking back now, it helped. And maybe, as we say, when a calling is there for you, you don't know when your time is right. And that was the time.
Wow. You're a brilliant coach, not just on the field, but off the field as well. You have a very value-laden approach when it comes to your coaching. Integrity, discipline, and respect are your core values when it comes to really helping and training these kids. What are some of the tactics and strategies that you've really used and cultivated over time to create long-lasting, unbeatable teams? From your Prince Edward unbeaten run to the Barts Trophy accolades, there's innumerable accolades that you have regarding sports, but what would you say is the best tip that you would give for other coaches out there to build the best teams?
I think from the years that I've been involved, you learn with every team that you coach. It's not the coach that just comes and utters words and hope that things turn around and you build this phenomenal team from just coach-centered mentality. I think it's how a coach relates to the athlete that he has in front of him. Generations change. The reason behind the athletes coming to play that game, coming to perform or wanting to represent a team are all different. So from my experience, I think the biggest takeaway for me is building that relationship with the athlete, understanding where they're coming from, what they want to achieve in that specific time, and where they want to go. I think that's made the difference. You can take an athlete that just wants to play and have fun, put him in a team, in an environment, but then you've got other athletes who have not. The have-nots and then those that have. And you're combining those different characters into one team. You'll find the approach is always different. The guys that have already are doing it for the sake of doing it, for having fun, for being in a team environment. For the have-nots, it's opportunity, trying to knock on doors, to create something of that little time that they have on the sports field to sort of create pathways for themselves. Hopefully getting recognition from universities, from scouts, to give them a platform to break through. So I think those are the things that you've got to try and manage. Obviously, every coach wants to play to win. No one trains to lose a match, but sport is sport. You get to learn from your losses. Obviously, with your wins, you celebrate your wins, and there's a lot of glory from wins. But the losses also have a lot of life lessons that build character, build coaches as well. And I think that's the journey of sport. It's not just what happens on the field. It's a life lesson on and off the field.
Wow. So with Zimbabwe's team, we've truly solidified and built a legacy in terms of the international stage, from placing second, third, back-to-back champions. But now, what is your vision for Zimbabwe rugby in the future now? What is the direction that we should be following, and what's the goal that we're trying to achieve?
I think for Zimbabwe rugby, our trajectory right now is in the right space. When I was fortunate to get the coaching under-20 job in 2020, we were ranked 6th on the African stage. It was difficult for us to actually get started, to get opposition, because everyone felt that there was no value in playing a 6th place ranked team. So we worked, and we were fortunate. Zambia came on board. They didn't really have a strong under-20 team at that time. And then they gave us a second national team, their senior team, like an under-23 development Zambian national team kind of like thing. And we were fortunate to then play a 3 test match series with them. And fortunately for us, we were victorious in all 3. We played 1 test match in Zambia, and then we played 2 in Zimbabwe. And I think that was the beginning of this success that we've had in my tenure this far. Like I say, sometimes it's just the grace. Opportunities like that, no one would have known that Zim under-20 is back on the stage until we performed, beating a second tier, a second strength national side. Sort of gave us that hope that, yeah, we can do something. And then the following year, we then got the opportunity to go play in the Barts tournament. And with all the work that we had put in, it just sort of solidified that sort of success, that even the Rugby Africa president at that time, when he awarded us the trophy, he was actually quite shocked to say a team that was ranked 6th can actually come and win the tournament. So I think, yeah, it's huge when you reflect, because when you then look at that team that won the first Barts title in 2022, then went on at another opportunity that came about from winning that first Barts title. World Rugby then opened up a path for the Zim team to go on a tour to Canada, and we played in the the World Rugby Canada Conference Series. At that time, we actually had no funding. We had just come out of the Baths tournament. We were still the new boys on the African stage. World Rugby then came in, gave us opportunities with flights. We still had a shortfall, and the union just said to us, what do we want to do? And I just went to our chairman and I said, Chairman, we need this opportunity. We need to try and showcase what we can do. We've never competed at this level. We will not know if we don't try. And that was playing against the home team. We played Canada in the first game. And those are the things that come within the coaching journey and the experiences that you look back and reflect and you're like, this is God-given. We went there against all odds, and it was huge, the support that we got from the Zimbabweans based in Canada. We actually had a bigger fan base than the Canadians themselves. So I think this journey is just been God sent. Yes, personally, I think I am passionate about the game. It's just not about what happens on the field. It's about what happens off the field. It's about the characters that we build, the players' pathway that we create, the foundation that we set for them makes it. We take so much from within what happens in the system to get the team going, the preparation stage, the selection stage. There's so much heartbreak that goes through that whole process. And no one looks at the coach and thinks, what is he going through? It's good when the success stories are coming out and everyone looks back and says, wow, this lad has achieved this and has now got onto this stage, has had these accolades. But no one looks back and thinks, who's been part of that guy's journey? There's so many coaches that nurture athletes from the tender ages, those that start early in primary school, those that start maybe at high school at under 14 level. The work that's put in from those coaches, it's all part of the process of developing athletes and the pathway for these athletes. And not enough credit is given to coaches.
You're so right. Coaches are basically the founding fathers of the whole game, because just like you're saying, you're everything to these players. Where would the team be if it wasn't for the coach? Because you're the one who's always pressing for the punctuality, to press in the discipline, to press in the consistency that's required to achieve the excellence. So what would you say is, in a sense, bringing you towards the final goal? Because now it's not like you intend to be coaching rugby for the rest of your life, of course, but how are you creating a feedback loop? Because we already know about the SHAUN DESOUZA Rugby Academy as well. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, the SHAUN DESOUZA Rugby Academy came about 2024. We qualified. The team that went to Canada then did well. We beat Canada. We lost to Uruguay and beat Chile. That then set a foundation for us to build a team for the Baths the following year, 2023. That team was also successful, getting us the back-to-back Baths titles that got us to the Junior World Trophy, the second tier in under 20 level in the world from the championship. So that's the top 20 under 20 teams in the world were participating in that tournament. So that's like from 13th ranked to 20. We then came 5th in that tournament. We learnt a lot from that experience, rubbing shoulders with teams like Scotland, USA, playing, having conversations with Uruguay, how they do things from their side, building relations with Kenya, finding out the things that they go through as an African counterpart. We learned a lot from each other, and there's a lot of similarities that we found in our experiences and our process and our journeys with the under-20s. That then got me thinking to say, what else can I do? And that's when the Coach Duza Rugby Academy came about. It's still in its baby stages, but we've already participated in an under-11 tournament. The boys did really well, and I think it's the beginning of bigger things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you say that there was a career-defining moment that was quite negative for you, that you used as a big learning curve though throughout your illustrious career?
I think the defining factor from the World Trophy was the need for us to develop athletes' skill sets. Some of the time we feel like we have time. Administrators set up calendars, set up programs, and they just look at the number of days, the number of months that are in the calendar, and put programs and fixtures together. But there's more to just putting a fixture, having 2 training sessions, having a fixture on the weekend, to developing podium performance athletes. There's so much nitty-gritty skill sets that are needed to get an athlete to be identified as a candidate for a professional club setup. While in that Junior World Trophy environment, we had Shingirai Manyarara in our team, and he's one of the kids that we have good success stories about. He's played in the French Pro 14 League, and for us, he's the same as the other boys around us. Why can't we create 10 more athletes with his mindset, with his work ethic? The training regime was exactly the same for everyone else. So what can we do differently to get athletes to become podium performing athletes? So going back for me was, let's start something. Groom them from a young age, how we want to see them in 10 years' time. The skill sets that we want them to develop at that young age to become second nature when they start playing for their high schools, when they get selected for the age grade national teams. That's where the passion came from. We teaching kids, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, how to ruck. We're teaching them how to roll from a tackle. Skill sets that I feel are fundamental in rugby development. If guys can learn how to kick off both legs from 9 years old, who can pass left and right off the base while running in motion, the difference will be huge in the next few years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're astronomically not just shaping current rugby, but the future of rugby itself. You're completely redefining the industry.
Yeah.
So if you could go back in time, what's one piece of advice you would have given your 15, 16-year-old self to participate in the necessary fundamental activities to get where you are today?
I think my schoolboy journey is one of the reasons I'm so passionate about what I do when I'm on the coaching sphere. I was fortunate. I ran through a group of coaches that were passionate about what they did. I learned a lot from how they taught me, how they helped me, groom me. I was just unfortunate that we didn't have. I grew up at St. Joseph House for Boys, and there's things that I feel if I had the know-how, I could have done things slightly different after leaving school. Maybe I would have knocked on the right doors, and maybe the path would have been different. So as a coach, I'm not just coaching from 2 to 4. I am looking at the holistic athlete. I'm trying to get you to be the best of what opportunity you have in front of you. Every season changes. What happened last year is not the same that will happen this year. So you got to take your best foot forward in every situation that you have. So I'm trying to create the environment where if an athlete puts in that commitment, because guys don't realize that it's not just coaches, administrators that are sacrificing, the athletes are sacrificing.
So how do you feel when you see your athletes being taken by other schools, the individuals that you would have trained and coached for years being poached up by other recruiters from schools?
Yeah, with my Prince Edward Tigers coaching hat on, I think it's been an exciting 12 years. We've had a lot of athletes that have come through our program. I think we are fortunate that the private schools, the ATS schools, the South African schools see talent coming out of our program. We try and develop athletes as soon as they come out of under 16. If they have the potential to make Tigers, we give them the opportunity. They rub shoulders with the upper six athletes and they train together. And those that have potential, we give them the platform. If they are recognized by other schools and get given opportunities, we are more than happy to let them take up those opportunities, because that's what we do. We are there to create and develop athletes. If it helps them open up doors and move on to greener pastures, I think it's a blessing when that happens. It shows that there is work that you're putting in, and guys are recognizing the work that you're doing and giving reward to the athlete, which is perfect. And it then builds into my other hat, going into the under 20 program, where you've developed athletes, they've been granted opportunity to go to other schools to better themselves, and then come back to the under 20 setup. Then we start another journey, a new chapter with a different focus. It's just huge when you see that kind of development.
This has been absolutely life-changing. Every single moment spent with Coach SHAUN DESOUZA isn't wasted. As you can see, he has a heart for the people, a mentality and a driving force towards revolutionizing the entire industry of rugby. He's not just a coach, but a father and a present patriot ready to take Zimbabwe to heights that it's never seen. Coach SHAUN DESOUZA is here, but you also need to stay right here on Rising Stars. So follow all our social media handles and stay intrigued. See you next time.